First, before I start speaking on this subject, a big hello and a big hugs to Gigi. You know, that was the name of my cat, Gigi. And of course, Sherry and everybody else that has been leaving comments on my video. And of course, 13 and everybody else. So I just did a podcast in Spanish, so I'm going to touch the same subject, which is what's disease and how to heal from it. Can you prevent it? Well, you can't really prevent it because most of the disease comes from long time ago. It comes from the time you were a child, okay? Maybe a week old, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 years. It doesn't matter. It comes from the beginning of your life. And so, how do you prevent something, right? But once you know what is the cause of disease, then you are not going to add more to what you already have. You're going to heal, but you're also going to stop doing it, right? Adding to whatever you already had. So this is, like the word says, is when you're not at ease. There's no ease, so it's this ease. When you feel uneasy, when you are stressed out, when you're not really it's not even the word comfortable, is you're relaxed. And you feel like that all the time. You're content. So it begins from the onset, when you were born. If you feel like you have something physical, right, and it can't even show physically, there could be something physical. It doesn't matter. It still is. You have to figure out how you create that, but not really how you create it, because I'm going to tell you how you create it. You have to know why you create it, right? And when did you start doing it? Even though you don't really need to know that to heal. I had many instances of instantaneous healing. Okay? Instantaneous. And I talk about that. I already told you, but I can say it again if you want me to. But I share with you the many occasions where something was happening with me. I wasn't feeling well. On one occasion I couldn't walk, and it was getting into, now it's really getting, not only long time, it was just say a few months. I would say probably 4 months, 5 months. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part is that it was getting worse. That it started with pain, and now I was hardly able to walk. In another occasion, it was a burning sensation under my arm, in my armpit. It was burning. I would look in the mirror, there was nothing. It was, no. I would imagine, I was imagining to be red, like a burning, like a first-degree burn. And I said, maybe I'm not seeing well, so I would ask my son, can you look? And he said, nothing in there. And actually, there was nothing in there until I discovered. Then it moved from there to my chest. And then when I discovered what it was, immediately went away. So I had many, many occasions when this happened. So I can tell you that it's instantaneous if you discover what is it that you're doing. So our behavior is the clue. Okay, what we do is there's a clue there. Figuring out what's wrong with you and how to heal is, when I found out how to do it, it seemed I was so excited because, yes, I had the secret, the secret to the magic of how to heal. It turns out that's the easy part. The hardest part is finding out what is causing it. What are you doing? What are you doing? And this is the hard one because you constantly camouflaging stuff that you do. You don't even realize what you're doing. You're not, to put it in a way that you understand, you're not conscious of what you're doing. For the most part, people are on automatic. So, if a child, let me tell you how it begins. When you're a child, your mother, you cry, the baby cries, a week old, 2 days old, doesn't matter. The baby cries and the mother ignores him. Or when he gets older, it doesn't matter. Back in the days when I had my first child, people would tell me to let him cry. Let him cry. It's good for him. You are spoiling him. And he just wants his way. And you can't be carrying him everywhere. So you got to teach him that, no, you're not going to be there. But I never listened because when he cried, it felt horrible. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it crying. So I have to pick him up. But that was the people would tell you, like they're fucking experts telling you what to do. Thank God I didn't listen to them. And now I find out that that's how parents discount their children for the first time. That's a one way of discounting your children, or discounting people. Yes, it may seem like, okay, she leaves the kid at the playpen all day so she can do her wine and her coffee and cigarettes and her friends. But what they said, that you put seeds down so you can pick up the fruits. And so in this case, you're doing things for you and neglecting the child, neglecting the child's needs. Not everything is physical. There's an emotional need with the child. And so now you have a person, a girl, a guy, doesn't matter, who is suffering anxiety, depression, mental problems, physical problems, disease, and all because you ignored him when he was crying. There's a lot of things that happen when a child cries, and that will be another video, but I'll explain to you, like, there's a lot of things that happen that you don't understand. And so it's good to share with you, so that if you're young and you think of having babies, or somebody who has a child is listening to me, so they know this. Now, when I say that you shouldn't be stressed out, and that's how you know you're fine. There's no dis-ease with you. People would tell me, I'm feel so good. I feel delicious. Um, I'm very happy with my life, and they would always say, "Ooh, today is a beautiful day. I'm so happy. I love life," and it was just a lot of bullshit. Because first of all, you will see their life. You see what's going on in their life, right? And that right there tells you that what they're telling you is bullshit, and they're bullshitting themselves too, Or you can't bullshit anybody, and definitely not bullshit yourself, but it's you know, right? You say something, but it's bullshit, okay? And then the person is experiencing physical things, hospital, doctors, operations. Right there is telling you that the person is not at ease, right? But I don't know why people, like, I guess I know why. Is one of the reasons why people reject the idea of them not being happy is because when you find out that you're really not at ease in your life, then also you know that you have to do work. And that's the part that people don't want to do. They don't want to be responsible, and they don't want to do any work. So that's the reason they say, no, I'm happy, I'm all about love and all that stuff. So, healing can happen very quickly on something physical. But the other part, the trauma, the traumatic part, which I would tell you that I could probably say that 100% of the people have traumas, because just being born is traumatic. Being born in this dimension is traumatic. Now, there are different levels of trauma, and what we're facing now and where we're going to continue to face is probably very traumatic, But you can ease that trauma too. Make it less traumatic. But the trauma is there. So, let's say that is something with your back. And I'm going to do a video and tell you different parts of your body what it's telling you. Your body is telling you. If it's your back, it's telling you something. If it's your kidney, it's telling you something. Any part of the body. If it's your liver, what is your liver telling you? So that you at least have an idea when you decide that you want to start healing, right? And then I promise the other group, the Spanish group, I promised that I was going to share information that I received last week from these teachers, non-physical teachers. Now I was going to share, but I'm definitely going to share with you guys. And it's very, very important, because I think the reason these teachers are giving us that is because they know that like the old saying, the shit is going to hit the fan. It's going to get stronger. So start practicing now. Start practicing now what I'm going to give you next time. It's nighttime right now, and the lights went out for almost a whole entire day. We had snow and ice, and some of the trees just broke, and so we had no lights. And here is for during the summer, all the way to the end of the summer, they changed all the windows, and they winterized the entire place. So I couldn't believe that we have no electricity, and I was actually hot instead of cold. So that's amazing what they did. And I think that we all got to do that. If you can, if you have the money. But after I give you this magic and you do it, then you're going to have plenty of money too. And you're going to tell me. You can send me a private, and say, I know it's going to work if you do it. In any case, the way to heal is, first of all, you have traumas. Find out what is the trauma. What are you doing? What are you doing every day? Be aware of what you're doing. And then you realize, wow, it's better when you to work with someone, because the other person can see better than you. You're too close to yourself to see it, but the other person can see. Granted, the person has an idea what they're doing, they're knowledgeable, and definitely it's a lot easier, faster if you do it with someone. Like I work with my, clients that come to me, and I see it immediately. And if they want to change, if they want to heal, they're open, because I know the first reaction is the defensive, just go defensive. Like, no, I don't, because you don't want to be negative, you don't want to be this type of, you want to be all beautiful, positive, and an angel, So if I find something that show me that, let's say, you're doing something which you consider to be negative, you don't want it. You're going to reject it, right? Let's say one of them is to say that you're jealous, jealousy. You're not going to accept it. You're going to say, no, I'm not jealous. I love the whole world, and I want to share it. It's so beautiful. But you have to be honest with yourself. And you could be jealousy means that the other person is a reflection of what you're not doing. It's just reminding you that you're not doing it. You're not. So yes, you get pissed, and that's what jealousy is. It's not. I don't know. People make a big deal about jealousy. Yes, you don't want to be jealous, because jealousy is it's not good for you. See, it's not beneficial. It creates dis-ease, so you don't want to do that. But at the same time, you're not going to heal this unless you admit it, to yourself. Huh? And then you gotta have someone that you trust. Like if you work with someone who you can say those things, or write them down. Write them down. But you definitely have to look at yourself with a lot of honesty. Be very honest to yourself. The other way is, and this happens to me all the time. I meet people all the time who are sick, they don't feel good, and I can find immediately why are they sick, why they're not, why they have a dis-ease, where they're not at ease. Immediately, just by talking, if you talk to them, you ask questions, and then all of a sudden I can see it. Actually, before they start talking to me, I know what's happening with the person. I can tell you immediately. And I used to just observe people. I would sit down in the parking lot and just observe everybody that goes by. I would go to Whole Foods and sit outside in the parking lot and watch everybody walking, everybody coming out. I would watch everybody. And yeah, in your eyes, I was criticizing everybody, but no, I was trying to figure out what was happening, And yeah, so I'm going to share with you the stuff that I will do and the stuff that I will find, and it's 100% correct, my observations. I always was, when I see a couple and one is feeling really good and the other one is sick, you know who's the one. You know who's the one, depending the ass in there. Or when you see a person that is very slender and nice and doing exercise, and the other one is fat, you know who's taking the shit in that relationship. So these are the type of things that I would do, the observations that I would do. I would see a man. One time I remember somebody parked next to me, and the man tried to come out of well, he did come out of the it was an SUV, a big one. And I saw the man, he was my age, and he could hardly walk. And you can tell the pain. He had that face that I'm in fucking pain. I was at the store where they sell all these organic stuff, supplements and organic food and other stuff. This is in California, when I was in California. And I watched the guy, and he had a cane, and he was an old man. He was my age, at the time I was 50 something. And I said, wow, you almost feel like you want to help him, but this will be discounting the person, If you said, you want me to help you walk or something, it's discounting them. So, and when they're feeling this bad, they want you to leave them the fuck alone, okay? So, I know he was desperate to go inside and find something for the pain. I know he was feeling a lot of pain. And I look at who's driving, and it was a woman his age, and I know that was his wife. And she looked perfectly. She's done well, she got her makeup, she got good clothes, she got all her rings and everything, and she's on the phone. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, I know who's the pain ass in the relationship, and yes, you will say him because he's probably in a bad mood, but he's taking a lot of shit. He's taking a lot of shit for a long time. And the other one is giving it. And the thing is that you don't have to take shit from anybody. Not everybody, and not anybody. You just don't take shit from anybody. It's that simple, And that's what I'm talking about when I say that you get sick. If you don't express, and expressing means being proactive, doing something, not just saying it. Because one time I remember this lady, she was the secretary of the school, and I forgot what the hell she was. She was in pain, and I don't know if she had a black and blue. I don't know the whole story. And she told me her husband is home. He retired, so he's home, and he just a pain in the ass. Blah 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 blah. And I say, well, he does this. He yells. He this. And I said, well, don't take the shit. He said, well, I don't. She said, I tell him off too. And I tell him off, and I yell at him back and everything. And I say, no, you're taking it. Believe me, you're taking it. Fighting with your husband, fighting with anybody that you live with. I don't care if he's a roommate, if he's a renter you have in your house, if it's your husband, your uncle, no, it doesn't matter. If you're fighting with someone because they're doing things to you, you're taking it. You're taking shit. The only way not to take shit is to tell them to get the fuck out of your house. Or you get the fuck out of that house. But as long as you fight, even if you don't fight, but if you are tolerating, you're tolerant of this individual, whoever's living with you, you're taking shit. And this taking shit is what is making you sick. And not too long after that, she told me that they said that she had beginning of Parkinson, and she got all this shit. Oh my God, can you believe that? I tell people how dangerous it is to take shit from other people. At this point in my life, I feel that it's extremely dangerous to live with people. Very dangerous to live with people. I don't care who the hell it is. I don't care if it's your mother, your grandmother, your uncle, your brother, your son. Doesn't matter. I live with my son, but you know, sometimes you just gotta tell them. You know, we get along really well, and he's not in my space. I'm not in his space. But sometimes he may want to help me. You know, and I don't want no fucking help. You understand? I don't need no fucking help. The only help that I want is for people to shut the fuck up. That's seriously. I don't want friends, and I don't want anybody to come to me trying to help me. You understand? And this teacher taught me that one of the worst things you do, the most discounting shit that you do to other people is helping. Okay? So just remember that. Stop helping. Unless they ask you, then it's different. If I said, hey, can you guys help me, different. But don't come to a person and give advice that they didn't ask. Okay? And so I've seen so many stories that I just look at it and say, fuck. But at the same time, it helped me make decisions to just get the fuck. I left California and I went to live on my own, not to live with anybody, nobody. It was a hard decision. I just got in the car and left because, no. You know what is and I see a lot of people do that. They are married and they don't feel good, so they're now at this point, they've been living with 15 years with this person, they don't feel well. So now they're afraid to leave the person, to divorce him, because they feel, what happened if I faint? What happened if I get sick? Who's going to help me in the middle of the night? I'm going to tell you something. In the middle of the night, nobody's going to fucking help you. You have to be sleeping, snoring. It won't even hear you when you have a heart attack. So maybe the best thing is to just live by yourself, and then you won't have the heart attack. You understand? Look, my brother died of, he has so many problems, but he didn't want to, long story short, he didn't want to leave the wife. And he found out shit about the wife, blah, 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 blah. And I know he was afraid to be by himself because the doctor said he had heart problems, blah, blah, blah. You know what? He died alone. And at the end, he just couldn't stand the wife, so he got his own room, with his dog. And at the end, he died by himself in his room. In the morning, the wife and his son, which they didn't give a shit about him, but neither one, they found him dead. So, he died alone, right? But if he would have moved away from all of them, not only he would have lived longer, he would have healed, and on top of that, he wouldn't have died like that, long suffering, a lot of suffering, no. So I would say, be very careful who you live with. Like I said, if you live alone, even better. Another thing is the camouflage. I hear people say, my husband is wonderful, and they talk so much about how wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And when somebody tells me their husband is wonderful, wonderful, constantly, I know she's covering something. Oh, when the husband says, she's so wonderful, she's so wonderful, she's so wonderful, what are you hiding? Why you gotta say so much? Or when a person is all about love, love, pictures of love and hearts, and everything is the house is full of hearts. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? That nobody loves you? That you don't love it? No, you don't know how to love? What is it? That you fucking hate everybody? So that's how you know. See? And I'll share with you how these amazing teachers have been helping me, and how I myself became more and more and more and more aware, more conscious, that I was doing shit and I didn't even realize I was doing it. I can tell you that we do things day in and day out, constantly doing shit that we don't even realize we're doing. Okay? So, like I said in one of my videos, the best way for you to find out what kind of energy are you projecting? What is your energy? Well, what is the feedback? How people treat you? How they've been treating you? See? What is your life like? Do you have money? Are you constantly at the doctor? What is happening? Then you know what is happening in your life. Anyway, I'll continue, but happy to see you, Gigi, and of course, 13 and Sherry. Bye bye.